Hey everyone, back today. I wanted to share a case study to build a little bit on the video that we did in the last one of the intuitive eating series on ditch and diet culture. So if you haven't seen that yet, check the link in the description box below, catch that up, and then I will see you back here to talk about our case study. So I wanted to share the experience of one particular person who worked here at our clinic in Newton. This person came to us and initially were really struggling and feeling like they had started with good intentions, wanting to be healthy, wanting to eat healthy, wanting to ideally lose weight, but unfortunately getting further and further down that road of kind of diet culture thinking, this person found themselves really trapped and stuck. And actually when we looked at their metabolic data and their health data, actually their body was really not well on the inside. So for this particular person, when we first looked at their metabolic rate, it was actually 30% of what was predicted. And essentially your metabolism is the fire inside that's keeping all of these systems and functions going. And when your metabolism starts to drop, it means that your body can't actually do the amount of work that it's intended to do to keep you healthy. And so while you're in a process of dieting, that metabolism slows down, and it's just a way for the body to cope with less eating. And this person had been under eating for so long that their body had slowed down to 38% of what was predicted for them. So that was quite a low metabolic rate. In addition to that, we also saw that this person's protein substrate was quite high. In fact, it was 3 times what was recommended. And protein substrate essentially is how much we break down our healthy tissue and use it, toss it into that fire of your resting energy expenditure to get you going throughout the day. So essentially, when food isn't enough, the body actually also starts to break down healthy tissue as extra energy to help get you through the day. So this person's was extremely high. And the reason those numbers were so, needing to be recovered was because this person was eating about 50% of what their nutritional needs were. So significantly under eating. And that was the real moment for this person where they decided that the dieting has actually taken them too far, and they actually started to see kind of unhealthy side effects to the dieting. And so this person really committed over the next 6 months to completely ditching diet culture. A few other things that this person was experiencing was they were measuring all of their food constantly, weighing it, calculating it, putting it into an app, and were completely consumed. This person had a lot of food fears, so they were afraid of carbs, they were afraid of fats, they were afraid of too many foods at one particular meal, they were afraid of eating the same food more than one time in a day. So a lot of fears and preoccupations around what's good or bad to eat. This person actually also wasn't having any hunger or appetite signals, and in part one of the reasons is because this person was overhydrating in order to suppress those hunger signals. So those two things were kind of going hand in hand. And then on top of that, this person was also experiencing a lot of digestive discomfort, gas, bloating, nausea, and just in general not feeling well pretty much the entire day. The other piece to this was that this person's exercise was quite rigid. So this person was exercising 6 days a week, every single week, regardless of how their body felt. And it was very much just like go in, get the calories burned, try to lose the weight, and no matter what I feel like, I have to go do this. And so this was a lot to work on. So we started with a prescriptive meal plan to help them and coach them back to normal eating patterns. And then we moved into intuitive eating and more specifically this ditching diet culture premise. And so through this period of learning and growing and trusting the process, this person 6 months later actually ended up with a resting metabolic rate that was 110% of predicted. So in eating better and letting go of some of these fears, this person actually was able to completely recover their metabolic rate, and in addition their protein breakdown rate, so the amount on which the body was relying on healthy tissue to fuel that resting energy expenditure, actually dropped back below within normal rates. So the body no longer felt stressed to have to compensate for the lack of eating, and the body was able to just allow that protein to stay and start to build again, as opposed to having to burn it all for energy. This person was up to 100% of their total recommended nutritional intake. They had significantly reduced or completely eliminated a lot of their food fears. They were maintaining healthy whole grains at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were including carbohydrates as part of their snacks. They were eating fats at every meal of the day. They were working on fears around eating particular foods more than once in a day. They were really challenging themselves in really important ways and feeling a lot of liberation and freedom in how they were eating and relating to food again. This person also completely stopped weighing themselves, and as a result, really stopped fixating on how they were feeling about their body. That certainly is a much longer road, but it overall, in the short term, at least helped them stop looking at their body so under a magnifying glass. And when we're not so focused on weight and we're not so obsessed with what we look like, that can actually help us relax a little bit around food and eat what we need for the body to heal. The other thing that this person experienced was that their digestive symptoms completely resolved. So no more nausea, no more gas, no more bloating. This person was down to half of what they had originally been drinking in terms of fluids, so they were right back within their fluid recommendation. And as a result, their hunger cues were normal, predictable, consistent, and were able to guide them through the process of just eating enough and making sure that they were full and satisfied throughout the day. The most important thing that this person learned from ditching diet culture not only was that the body fully recovered and healed itself, but also that they had freedom again and they weren't thinking of food almost 100% of their time. They were able to put food kind of back on the shelf, not really think about it, and be able to focus on other things that were really important in their lives. So I hope, if anything, going through this case study has helped with understanding that when we become over-invested in diet culture and weight loss for weight loss's sake, it actually can sometimes be harmful to the body and the mind. And that if you can look through the material on ditching diet culture, either from our last video or from the book, again, link in the description below, you can actually trust that over time your relationship to food will start to feel better, and potentially if your body is struggling, that is going to heal in some way as well. So stay tuned. We're going to do more on intuitive eating, and we'll have something up on the second principle in no time at all. So great, and I will see you in the next one.